Hey guys, my name is Cheyenne and I do life insurance you don't have to die to use with Alzheimer's protection and Lewy body dementia. And I do this because I had firsthand experience with people that had these conditions, and it was ugly and it was terribly expensive, and most of these people didn't have anything to really cover these types of expenses. And what that means is they had to basically end up in the lowest quality care facilities because they just couldn't afford anything better. So now I do this to make sure that people at least know that they have something that can cover those types of expenses, because there's actually not a lot of coverage out there for Alzheimer's disease because it's not seen as a primary medical condition. Health insurance covers typically like primary care. So like when something abnormal happens, like cancer, it can take a lot more justification for health insurance actually to work. And Lewy body dementia and Alzheimer's disease, they're really low on their system for, yeah, we're going to give you money. A lot of people have VA benefits. A lot of people are veterans. They have all this extra insurance that helps them cover various different things, but a lot of the times there's actually a cap on that. So if you don't have assets in other places, there's a good chance that you're going to struggle. It might actually take you out financially. And I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm just saying this to prepare you. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to put together some brochures, and I just want to record it because why not? I've got physical copies like I'm about to be putting together right now, but I've also got digital copies. I've also got digital copies that I can share with you guys. If you're interested in what I do and kind of how this is exclusive to me, because there's a lot of insurance agents out there that are doing living benefits, and that is amazing. I cannot sell a policy without having benefits, living benefits put on there automatically. If I know that there's a product that does it automatically, that's what I'm going to use, because I know that's best for my clients. And I wouldn't have known about this, unless I would have kept an open mind and just kept looking for things and just being open to learning. Okay, so we're going to pack this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different little brochures. So this is the biggest one. This one is just basically all about an indexed universal life policy, except for it's going over what we've got here. What I do exclusively is the Living Life Defender, and what this does is it automatically includes living benefits with Alzheimer's disease and Lewy body dementia. This one kind of shares what we're all about in a way. It's got just about everything in here, but I want to make sure that this particular person has everything that they need, and thinking about, not just life insurance, but also Alzheimer's disease, also retirement, also just like injuries, maybe a mortgage or a cash value, raising money within their policy if that's something that they would like. And also maybe if they're not looking for a policy themselves or they don't want this one has everything that they would need to kind of share with somebody that is looking for a policy, or somebody that they care about that might qualify for a policy. So that is one that I'm going to be putting in there for sure. And then this is also kind of covered in there a little bit, the premium chronic care rider. We automatically have the living benefits riders included on our policies with me, with my 2 partnerships that I've got going on here. And this one right here, this tells you basically, you don't have to die to use your life insurance. In fact, you can actually use it if you get ill, if you need extra money for, like maybe you break your hip or something and you need money to take care of yourself there. You can actually access money inside your life policy. And this kind of goes over like how you're able to actually get extra money from this, like a payout from your death benefit. And it shows you how much, that you qualify for per your death benefit. Excuse me. And then it shows a little bit of statistics here. It says 6 in 10 adults have a chronic condition. And it says 110,000 is the median annual cost for a shared room in a nursing facility. So that is like a shared room. And I know that this is to be true because I've actually worked with people that were in these situations. So yeah, that makes a that makes a big difference to have something extra there. And this is something that is available for 18 to 75-year-olds. We do have something called the Combo Multi-Choice Rider. And that is something where you can actually have other people added onto your policy. But this one right here, you can, this is a separate one. You have to have this outside of that. You can't have both of those. It's too good. Sorry. And then, you know, this is the Living Life Defender Index Universal. Just a little bit of information, more information about this. If they want to keep the bigger packet, they can just kind of give this to somebody else. And this just goes over some of our ratings, you know, on our product. Of course, you can look up all this stuff and it's readily available to people, but this is something that I'm sharing physically with this particular person. I feel like I never see like insurance agents do this, and it's so sad. I don't know, maybe they do, I don't know. Then another thing that's important, a lot of people don't realize about life insurance, is there's a lot of tax advantages. So like the money that you earn from a life insurance policy, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So like you have a cash value in a whole life policy that grows over time, and it's not going to grow as much as, you know, other investments accounts, but it is going to grow. And that money that you do make from that policy, from a policy like this, you're not going to have to pay taxes on. And that's a big deal, because taxes, they're just getting higher. I want people to also realize that this is something that you can use for retirement, and that's what this brochure kind of goes over. I would dive into more about that, but really this is just to give them some information to look over and, you know, kind of make them think a little bit about where they're at in their financial planning and in their journey, and, you know, what do they want to have, you know, planned for themselves. But also these have like QR codes where you can actually go watch people's testimonies about having something like this in place, seeing their friends not having this in place and it not turning out very well from them. And like basically if these people didn't have this in place, they would be SOL. They would just be so out of luck. It's not funny. So that's why like people made these testimonies, because it really did affect them. And that's why I'm doing this too, because it's effective. This one right here, you know, if you guys hear me talk at all, you know that a big reason why I started doing this in the first place was because Alzheimer's disease and various other different issues like cancer, Lewy body dementia, cystic fibrosis, heart disease, stroke. I work with a lot of stroke patients, a lot of diabetes patients, and that's something that we cover. But Alzheimer's disease is not something that most life insurance companies actually share or offer as protection, because it's not considered to be a what is it called, primary care issue. It's something that it just doesn't fit in that category right now. And we've known about Alzheimer's disease for a long time, and there's still not a cure for it. So what we can do right now is try to prevent it, and also make sure that, you know, if and when we do develop it, that we do have something in place to cover the costs. Because, you know, if you've got dementia, the cost of care is exponentially higher than for other conditions. And so, yeah, people need to know about this. So if not for you, for somebody else. Let's see. Okay, just some of the stats that it says in here. When life gets interrupted by Alzheimer's disease, 6.7 million Americans are estimated to be living with Alzheimer's dementia, about 1 in 9 people age 65 and older. That's a lot. 1 of 3 people age 85 and older have Alzheimer's dementia. 2 times the annual number of new cases of Alzheimer's and dementia is projected to be doubled by 2050. There's more in here. If you want some of these brochures, I've got some digital copies for you that I can send to you on Google Drive, or, you know, you can download as a PFA. Sorry, that's the name of my company or agency. But you can download it as a PDF, and you can share it with other people, and you can send them my way. I'm a student, I am busy, but I have a whole team of people that will write a policy for you and get you covered today. So don't sleep on that, because right now you're probably healthy. Maybe you're not, but you probably know somebody that is healthy and they could totally utilize this. And I would love to be your agent for the rest of your life. I hope that you guys appreciated this, and I will be doing more of these kind of conversations. I actually have a whole plan to do kind of like a overview of how much it actually does cost to live in a nursing home, how much it does actually cost to, you know, be going through those end stages of life. Because yeah, people just don't think about it enough, and I like to educate people. So I will see you next time.